Good day, everybody. How are we? Happy Saturday. When you guys get on here, I'm going to start my sharing process as I do. But when you get on here, say hi. Let me know you're here. Hi, Kim. How are you? We were a little behind your time, right? Sorry about that. Let me just share this in a couple of the groups. Now, Kim, were you the one that was at J-Lo last night and had the beautiful dinner? Okay. Let me just share this. All right. Hey, Dave, just give me a second here. Share. We are live. I'm going to get you on here, Dave. There you are. So when it comes through, come on. Why isn't it letting me? Uh-oh, hang on. Okay, Dave, why isn't it letting me invite you on? You like the page, right? Traveling and lost you for a minute. Okay. See if you can go out and like the page, Dave, and then let me... You're on a phone, right? Let's make sure you get on here. Come on, where are you? Yeah, make sure you've liked the page. Hey, Penny. Why isn't it? Choose your live mode. Hang on. Penny, I can add. Why can't I add you, Dave? What is going on? Hey, Josh. Allow your viewers to join. Hey, Val. Hang on, you guys. We're having a little technical difficulty. Oh, Dave, where'd you go? Let's try it again, Dave. Make sure... And you and I are friends, so why isn't it letting me add you? Allow your request to join. Okay. Dave, when you go, you should be able to request to, there you go. There he is. Oh, I'm going to approve him as a guest. There's always something, always. And hopefully he'll be showing up here shortly. Says it's adding. Come on. Everybody cross their fingers, toes, and legs, and everything else, making sure Dave can come on. Can't bring Dave on camera. There's always, okay. Hang on. So everybody, how are you guys this morning? What's everybody drinking? There he is! Yay! You know, we just got to have a few technical glitches. You're sideways, though.
Oh, hold on. I guess I got to turn
There we go. Okay, now I'm going to share because you're on the screen. Oh, my word.
I'm no good at this. I'm no good at this technical shit.
It's all good. You know that. We get it figured out eventually. So let me share this. Oh, yeah. How you doing?
Good.
You're in the afternoon. You're way ahead of me, so.
Yeah, it's 1 o'clock here.
It's crazy. All right.
Shit, I even got people from Ontario watching us.
Oh, yeah, we got people. Yeah, we got some people on here. I had messages, where are you guys? I'm like, yeah, well, it's not time yet. People are excited. It's all good.
I guess.
Yeah.
Excited to see the fat kid.
There's Keith. I'm glad you joined us, Keith. He was worried
Yeah.
about the time too. All right, let me just finish this. This part drives Mike crazy every time I do this, and Josh too. Hey, dolls. Oh, there's your daughters on here. Hi,
Yeah, I seen
Catherine.
that.
That's awesome. All right. And
I'm sure my wife and daughter are probably making jokes in the other room.
now you remember, we're kind of a big deal. They need to know.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh my God. Okay, I got one more group and then we're ready. Spray
Nice.
foam marketplace. Da, 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 da. All right. So tell everybody who you are and what's your business so people know.
Well, Dave George.
Yes.
I own Dave's Insulation. And I just moved to New Brunswick. Well, I guess it'd be 2 years in July, this coming July.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's only been
So,
2 years you've been there. Oh, okay. I thought you were there longer for some reason.
no, it'll be 2 years in July.
Oh, okay.
So
Cool. And what kind of insulation do you do so people who are in that area know?
I don't know, anything that will put money in my bank account. But mainly foam, spray foam.
Right.
Like I've been doing spray foam since I was 13. So
Yeah.
my dad owns, well, he owned it. My brother owns it now, but my dad owns a really large company in Kitchener, Ontario.
Okay. Yeah.
So, but I mean, I was a fat kid in school and I didn't get along too well.
Oh.
So it's kind of funny because I used to go into school, I'd check in, and then I'd go to my dad's shop.
Oh.
And
okay.
so I'd bag off school to go to the shop. My dad was just like, all right, that's enough.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll get you out of school and we'll go from there.
And that's what you did.
Yeah, well, and you know what? The funny part is, I think when I first quit school, my dad, he'd get me up like an hour earlier than I was supposed to, and I hated getting up in the morning. I mean, I was a bear getting up.
Yeah.
And he'd take me to the shop. And after a couple of weeks, he's like, you still want to quit school? And I said, yeah, I do.
Yeah.
So.
His reverse psychology didn't work.
Yeah, no. Well, you know what the thing is, like, when we were kids, we were always at the shop.
Right.
That was, I mean, Dad would get up in the morning and it'd be summer and it'd be like, well, let's go to the shop.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Very much like farm kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was driving 5 tons when I was like 9, 10 years old in the yard washing them.
Right.
That's what he got us to do.
Yeah.
So
they should maybe they need to go back to that, right?
Well, you know what? I mean, you look at my daughter.
Yes.
That kid's unreal. I mean, for her, it's funny to get her to go to school in the morning, to get her up. It's like pulling teeth, like literally pulling teeth.
Yeah.
We got to wake her up every morning.
Yeah.
If I tell her I've got a job tomorrow morning, she's up before I am.
Interesting.
So,
yeah.
And I got to say, she's a hell of a worker. I mean, she's definitely got me in her for sure.
She's also a hell of a singer.
Yes, she is.
Holy
she's come a long way.
She has, like, I remember when you first posted her singing, like, practicing, I think, on her guitar or something, and I was like, oh my word, she was so good then. And then you posted her recently, and I was like, holy smokes, how did she get better?
Well, you know what the funny part is? See, when we moved out here, I'll be honest, she hated me. She was so mad at me because I took her from Ontario where her friends were.
How old was she?
She was just going into grade 9. She was just starting high school.
Oh, you.
So, yeah.
I feel that.
Oh yeah, no, she hated us. Like, I mean, and when we originally came out here, the house we looked at, we looked at this one house, and it's the one we bought.
Yeah.
The basement's all all like redone. It's got its own bathroom, own bedroom, living room.
Mm-hmm.
And when we bring her down to look at the place, I looked at Katie. I said, "Well, if we move here, this is yours." Worst thing I ever did because it's the best part of the house.
Oh. But
But
she eventually obviously came around.
yeah, well, you know what? She once she got to school and started getting friends, and she's involved with the musical. Like last year it was Beauty and the Beast.
Okay.
This year it's Mamma Mia.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Impressive.
So she's doing good. And you know the funny thing is that guitar and singing thing.
Yeah.
She's only been doing that since we got here.
That's crazy. Like she is just naturally, like she's just a natural talent.
Yeah.
She really is. And I mean, I don't know when that was that you posted her. Was it at a festival or something you posted her?
That was was like 3 weeks ago. She did, it was Rib Fest. Rib Fest here in New Brunswick.
Yeah. You'll have to get her.
So.
No, I'm saving for a new amp, so I'm good. Oh, okay. Oh, Keith was offering her an amp.
Oh, that's good.
You're gonna have to post more of her because people need to hear her. She is phenomenal. I can't believe it. Like
she gets mad at me. She'll come upstairs to do a show us something, and I pretend I'm not recording.
Right.
I even grab the iPad and I run my finger on it. I'm like, no, I'm not recording. All right, talk about it. And she's like, "You're an ass, Dad."
You're funny.
And then when I'm done, I'm like, "Yeah, I recorded." She goes, "Don't post it." I'm like, oh.
Well, we love it, so I hope sorry, but we love it, so keep posting it. So I guess going back to, you said like you went with your dad to work and stuff. So how long did you stay with your dad and his company, and how did that all?
Well,
tell us your story, Dave.
I'll be honest with you. When I was a kid, I was a meathead.
Mm-hmm. As we all were.
But I went to the extreme.
Oh, okay.
Like I was, I was always getting into shit that I shouldn't be doing, and getting in fights and just doing stupid shit.
Yeah.
And you know what? It was. There was lots of arguments, lots of fights. I mean, my brother Lou that owns the company now.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, I remember when I worked for him. If 2 weeks went by that we weren't on the shop floor pounding each other.
Oh
yeah, something wasn't right.
Really?
Oh yeah. Oh.
Just personalities, or?
Yeah, we just both clashed.
Yeah.
I was a meathead, I mean, but it took me a long time to get out of that.
Yeah.
That kind of shit. I mean, I got into a lot of drugs too. Like I got really, really bad. I got into doing the coke, and I was bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I was really bad.
Did that happen?
And I hung around the wrong people.
Was it just because? Was there a reason for it, do you think, or was it just that's how it just naturally progressed that way, or what? What do you think?
You know what? Really, I mean, there's no blame but myself on it,
right?
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? When I was a kid, I kind of felt left out.
Oh, okay.
Left out of the business, left out of the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
The reason being is, I mean, for years I watched my brother and my dad fix machinery.
Right.
I watched them do it.
Yeah.
And every time something would happen or something would break down, I'd say, well, I can fix it. And I'd get, you don't know shit, get out of the way.
Ah, gotcha.
But, and you know what? It's my own doing, because I was a meathead. I was getting into stuff. I wouldn't get up for work. I was fighting. Like, I was my own worst enemy.
Right.
Right. But what it took for me was, it took me actually leaving.
Getting away.
Leaving the company. Yeah, getting away from the company and going working for the competition. Where the competition didn't know my meatheadness.
Right.
Yep. And when I said I could fix something or whatever, they'd let me do it.
Gotcha.
So when I worked for my dad and my brother, they wouldn't give me the chance to prove I knew what I was doing. They just assume, oh, it's just well, my nickname's Guy. And he's like, oh, it's just Guy again being a meathead. You
Ah,
know? So it was hard to get rid of that outlook from the whole family. Like, I mean, right up until I got married, some of the family members were, oh, that's just, mind my language here.
yeah.
That's just fucked up Guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like even when I got married, there was family members that probably went to the wedding just to make sure I actually was getting married.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, no, like I mean, I was screwed up. I mean, you know, when I met my wife, I think I was clean for about, I don't know, 3 years
Mm-hmm.
away from it.
Yeah.
I was working for my brother again at that point.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? My wife is the one that really turned me around. And the reason being is, you know, when I was there, I really never said nothing. I never voiced my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife's like, why are you letting them walk on you?
Right.
Like, you're better than this. You know more than what they think you know. So just step into it and do it.
Yeah.
And you know what? It was hard for me to get away from that. I don't know what you call it.
Stigma outlook or whatever.
Right.
You bet.
Of being the meathead.
Yep.
Right. And then I went and worked for Great Northern Insulation. And I worked for them for, I don't know, 4 years. And you know what? They let me do, you know, what I had to do.
Yeah. Right.
You know, and after doing that and my brother seeing that, okay, hold on a sec, he's not the same guy we knew.
Right.
Probably, I don't know, probably 6 or 7 years afterwards, my brother called me.
Mm.
And he said, you know what? One of our guys had appendicitis.
Oh, appendix, yeah. Appendicitis, yeah.
And he says, I need someone. And at the time, I was doing roofing with foam.
Mm.
And I said, well, my season's coming to an end. It's October. I'm in Timmins, and it's already starting to snow. I said, yeah, I can work for you for the winter.
Right.
And that's all he wanted. That's all he wanted at first. He goes, no, if you can get me through the winter, that's cool. He made me a deal that I was going to walk away with the one truck that was there with all the equipment. And I think it was about 3 months later, he went out and bought a brand new Ford F-150. And he said, hey, can you help me pick up this truck? And I said, sure. Went and picked it up. And he's like, oh, how do you like the truck? I said, oh, it's a nice Ford for a Ford.
Yeah.
He goes, well, yeah. He goes, well, it's yours if you stay.
Wow.
So, you know what? Fast forward like 10 years later, things blew up again, but not with my older brother. Not with my brother that owned the company. My younger brother.
Oh.
When I walked away from the company the first time, my younger brother, you know, got put in place, and he ended up being general manager after a few years of me being gone. But me and him we don't see eye to eye. I mean, I haven't talked to him in 2 years since I left.
Yeah.
So it was just, I got off the truck and I started moving into different roles, doing like, I was supposed to be doing health and safety and training and repairs and stuff. And me and my younger brother it just didn't work.
Right.
We butted heads, and it ended up, I left on bad terms with him anyways. But that's just the way it is, I guess.
Well,
it's family business.
You know what? Business is hard enough, and then you add family into that mix. That
absolutely
can be, that either goes one way or the other. And I
no, you're right.
I think more times than not, it goes not the good way.
Right. Well, and you know, it's a shame. Because I mean, I'm not going to mention his name because I don't want they'll just start another fight.
Yeah.
But I mean, with my younger brother, I mean, I'll be honest with you, I don't want his job.
Yeah.
I couldn't handle it. I couldn't handle his job.
Yeah.
Because I'd fire everyone.
Right.
But the thing is, my brother, my younger brother, in my opinion, just takes too much on. He's got way too much on his plate.
Yeah.
And I was trying to say, okay, you know what? Let me deal with the meatheads in the morning.
Yeah.
So you don't have to.
Right.
But my brother likes to have he's got to have control of everything.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how much of a shit show it is, he has to have control of everything.
Right.
So in my opinion, I think it's just he figured I was stepping on his toes, so let's make it to the point where I don't want to be here anymore.
Right.
And that's what happened in sense.
Yeah.
I was just at the point where, well, you know what? There's no place for me here, so why am I here?
Right.
What's the point? So
that's when you decided to move?
Yeah, a buddy of mine moved here to New Brunswick 2 years prior,
Mm-hmm.
and he would send me links and stuff to houses, and my wife always said no.
Yeah.
And I said to my wife, I said, well, listen, I said, if we move to New Brunswick, you don't have to work anymore, but you work for me. The first thing she said was, so when are we going to look at houses? And well, the funny part was, I told her that on, I think, the Tuesday or Wednesday, and that weekend was Easter weekend.
Yeah.
We jumped in the car and left.
Wow.
Yeah,
That
and
fast.
we set it up. Yeah, we set it up with a realtor, and I think we looked at like 6 or 7 houses.
Yeah.
And I just said to my wife, I said, I don't care what we buy. I said,
Yeah.
you know what I want and what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
I said, I can live in a cardboard box. Don't care.
Yeah.
If it feels like home to you, then that's what we buy.
Mm-hmm.
So we came back to Ontario, and I said, you let me know. And I think she kind of stewed in it for about a week.
Yeah.
And she figured it out. But I think the thing that pushed me to the most was I went back to my brother that owns a company, and I said, Lou, I said, things aren't getting better here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm possibly looking at buying a house in New Brunswick. And I think I pissed him off because he's like, well, then go buy it.
Mm.
All right. And that was the end of the conversation. I went home and I said, well, obviously there isn't a spot for me at Reitzel's. Mm-hmm. So I told my wife what went on. She's like, oh, I know which one I want. I said, okay. She told me what she wanted. And I phoned the realtor and I said, yeah, here's our offer for the house. Let us know.
Yeah.
40 minutes later, she's like, yep, accepted. I'm like, done.
Holy smokes. Wow.
And then and the funny part is, then I phoned my brother Lou. I said, oh, Lou, by the way, I said, I'm taking next week off. I'll take my week holidays. He's like, why is that? I said, because I'm selling my house and moving to New Brunswick.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, haha, you're funny. I said, you told me to buy it, so I did.
You don't think I listen, but I do.
I guess. So, and by the way, this is coffee. It's not beer.
You were going to have a beer, I thought.
I was gonna.
Wow, that is a whirlwind. So
yeah,
you guys move and she works with you.
Yeah, she owns part of the business.
And how does that go? Because that is also a dynamic that can be very tricky.
It can be tricky, but see, the difference is most, and I'm not saying guys are better than other guys, but most guys don't come to the realization that, and there's going to be a few guys that are probably going to slap me for this, but I don't care. Without a good wife, you're nothing. Mm-hmm. Because I will tell you right now, if I didn't have my wife, I would have probably a lot of shiny shit, but nowhere to put it.
Gotcha.
If it wasn't for my wife, I'd have nothing. And I know that. Yeah. And once you know that, it's pretty easy to work together. Yeah. Because I know I don't ever have to worry about the person that I'm partnered with doing something shady, or because it's my wife. Right. And she only does what's best for us in the business. Yes. And I know that. So that's how it makes it a lot easier to work together. Right. And well, she's one of the smartest people I know. So yeah. But and not only that, my dad told me when I got married, the only thing he told me, the only advice he gave me was happy wife, happy life. Yeah. I've been sticking to that. It's going to be 17 years. So
wow, good for you guys. That's awesome.
Yeah.
You know what? So. It does take, you have to have the right, one can't be trying to boss, well, I mean, in like be the boss of each other,
Right.
if that makes sense. I mean, we all do it in our own way. We all try to be
That's
the boss
right.
once in a while. But I
Yeah.
know, like, that's the same. Like when Rex and I do work together, like it was funny because we just had a conversation the other day, and we were talking about doing like an event for a real estate thing, and I'm like, here's the deal. We can do this, but you need to not be a part of the planning because I aggravate you and you aggravate me. So we'll just do it that way. Yep, that's good.
Yeah.
Once you know where you're supposed to be, it's all good.
It makes it a lot easier. Like,
yeah.
You know what? My wife, when it comes to the business end and the books and all that stuff, that's her baby.
Yeah.
I know nothing.
Yeah.
I know nothing.
Right.
And she knows on my end, I'm not going to go spend money on something unless I absolutely need it for the truck or for whatever.
Right.
And that's where it's nice. She knows that, listen, if something needs to be fixed, I will fix it. And if it's a huge ticket number, I will talk to her first and say, okay, this has to be fixed.
Right.
But it's going to be this. Can we do it now or no?
Communication.
Yeah, and she'll tell me. I mean, it's just like the truck I bought for my brother a few months ago. We really don't need it. But the amount that we paid for the truck, we had to buy it. Because to set up that same truck would have been high 70.
Right.
And I didn't even pay a quarter of that.
Wow.
No, actually less than a quarter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was a decision where I said to my wife that, you know what? Yes, I know we don't need it, but we can't let it go because of the price tag. And it actually worked out good because 2 weeks ago, me and my daughter went to a job.
Yeah.
And the voltage regulator on the other generator stopped working. Well, that's like a $400 to $600 repair.
Yeah.
Instead of waiting till the following Monday to do the job, I went home, I fired up the other truck, and went and did the job.
Right.
Right, and I've been using that truck since. And I told the wife, when we got the money to fix the other one, I will. But until then, I'll use this one.
Yeah.
So it worked out in the end, but that's the whole thing. It's knowing each other's strengths.
Yes.
And I know where I'm good at, and she knows where she's good at.
100% agreed. And that's really in any business, that logic that you're talking about. You have to hire your weaknesses, right?
Yeah.
That's how you're going to be successful. You can't do it all. Well, I mean, you can for a little while maybe, but after a while you cannot do it all. So you need to have those people that you trust and that you know they're good, and let them do their thing.
Yeah. Well, and see, my biggest fault, and having my wife makes that fault that I have kind of disappear a little. I've got a really big heart, and I will help anybody.
Yeah.
The problem is, I will help people when I really shouldn't.
Right.
I overextend myself or whatever. And my wife is the one behind going,
right.
No. You know, I helped a buddy of mine out and things went bad. And you know what? Bad situation. He was down on his luck and it's just the way it worked. And my wife's like, you know what? She goes, it's your own fault.
Yeah.
She goes, you got too big of a heart, and
yeah,
you don't think about what you're doing. You just do it.
Yeah.
And you know what? My dad's the same way. My dad in the industry, when he was actually fully into the industry, before Kafka and all these third-party certification things, there was my dad.
Yeah.
And every company around in Ontario knew if there was a problem and they couldn't figure out how to fix it, phone Dave George, Senior.
Gotcha.
Because my dad'd be the first one to give you a hand.
Yeah.
Like, my dad was one of the largest formaldehyde, so UFI, installers in the industry in Ontario. And, well, I don't remember because it went under before I was around.
Yeah.
But I remember Great Northern, I was at the first annual meeting they had with the employees,
Mm-hmm.
and this picture came up on the projector, and the owners, they're like, "Hey, Dave, do you recognize that truck?" And I'm like, yeah, that's my dad's. And I didn't know this, but afterwards they come to me and they said, "Yeah, no, when the Eufy went for shit,
Mm-hmm.
we phoned your dad because we thought, oh, now what are we gonna do? We're gonna go broke." My dad took one of his 2-pound spray trucks,
Yeah.
sold them the truck, provided them one of his sprayers for 3 months,
Wow.
and said, "Here, this will make it so you don't go broke."
Mm-hmm.
And, my dad's like, "Nope, just take the guy. You got him for 3 months. If you need longer, whatever."
Yep.
And you know what? Al and Larry at the time that owned it, they said, if it wasn't for your dad, we'd be done.
Wow.
But that was my dad in the industry. That's what he did.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's supposed to be retired, but he's the first guy to jump under a machine
Right. Yeah.
He's nuts.
Yeah. You know what, though?
So,
I think there's having a big heart, and then there's just, you know what, that's kind of, because I hear what you're saying, because I've been known to be a little bit, your wife would be yelling at me too about that.
yeah.
But it's something that I don't know. It's like it eventually comes back, and it's not that you're doing it for the reason to come back, but it's just
No.
like like I always say, but sometimes it's just the right thing to do, or that's how I feel about it anyways. And it's, some people just need they need that help,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I think that's probably my biggest downfall. I'll help anyone. I don't care who it is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if it's my competition.
Yeah.
I'll help anyone.
Right.
It's just in me.
Yeah.
That's the way that's the way I was raised.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. But like you said, things do come back, whether it's from that person or from
something else. Yeah.
Or from the universe itself. Because
mm-hmm.
I mean, perfect example. I'm pretty sure I can't see who's watching. I don't know how to do that on this.
There's a few on here.
I don't know if
Clemens is on here. Robert Vasquez, Matt Doring, Raymond Meisen.
Oh yeah,
that's who I can see right now.
I'm just seeing if my family and my sister's watching. Alicia Wall is my sister.
Oh, okay.
My new sister.
Yes, I was gonna say you posted that thing about the lawn tractor, which you shared with me before you did the video. But
it looks like my mom's. Anne Marie Wall is my mom.
I watched your video of that again, and it made me smile so much. I love that so much. You have to tell people what you did.
Well, it's in New Brunswick they opened all the files for adoption.
Yeah. So
the only thing I've ever known about my adoption was that my mother was from out east. Don't know where. Just that's all we knew.
Mm-hmm.
My mom in Ontario. I mean, she'll always be my mom, and that's she raised me.
Yeah.
She even said, she goes, "That's the only thing we know is that she was from out east, and that's it."
Mm-hmm.
I said, "Okay." Well, the one day me and my wife were watching TV, and this thing come up on TV in New Brunswick about adoptions.
Yeah.
And that all files have been opened, blah blah blah. And I said to my wife, I said, "You know what?" I said, we should probably find out and fill something out. Because even if I just get my medical background, which I don't know anything about, well, at least I didn't.
Yeah.
At least I'll be somewhere.
Yes.
And never thought even slightly that I'd ever find my birth mother.
Mm-hmm.
That really wasn't that wasn't what I was looking for, to be honest.
Yeah.
To start with.
Right.
So we filled out the paperwork, and I think about 3 weeks later, it all came back. It had her maiden name. It had like an address in Toronto somewhere, and we went on Ancestry, or what are they called?
Oh, Ancestry.com?
Yes.
Yeah.
Couldn't find anything there. And all the information, I only had her maiden name. I didn't have any other information. No medical background, nothing. Yeah. So for shits and giggles, I went on Facebook.
Yeah.
And I typed in the last name, Lockman.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there was probably 20 or 25, something came up. And I said to my wife, I said, well, what the hell? And I messaged every single one that came up, told them who I was, what I was looking for, who I was looking
Mm-hmm.
for. And you know what? Everyone would return and no, don't know her, don't know her, don't know her. And it kept on and on. And I'm like,
Oh,
all right,
yeah.
whatever. Yeah, like whatever. And we went and had dinner, and I sat down, and this person texted me. She was, I think that my aunt's name was that.
Mm.
And I'm like, okay. And she goes, well, her name now is Anne Marie Wall. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So she's like, I'll message her and let you know and whatever. So she got back to me and she's like, she says, no, it can't be.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, well, hey, thanks for trying. And the girl said, she goes, I'll probably get in trouble for saying this. She goes, but I'm pretty sure you're her son. And I'm like, why would you say that? She goes, because you look a whole lot like Uncle Tommy.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
And I'm like, okay. So I guess,
Yeah.
I guess what she said to Anne Marie is, go look at his profile. You have to see him.
Mm.
And you know what? It was, she did, and she had a family meeting, I guess, and everyone was there. And my sister Alicia,
Mm-hmm.
love her to death. She's just like me. She's an arsehole too. Oh yeah. Unbelievable. I mean, oh yeah, we're two peas in a
Oh
pod.
my
It's
God.
funny. And so what she does, well, they're all having this family meeting about what to do and where to start. She's in the background messaging me saying, hey, you're looking for Anne Marie Wall? Well, that's my mom. I think you're my brother.
Funny.
Like, what the fuck? She goes, can I call you? So I sent her my phone number and she phones me up. And the whole time they don't know she's on the phone with me.
During the family meeting.
Yeah, Alicia's like, oh, I got him on the phone right now.
No prep time. Here he is.
No, here you go. So, but I mean, and I mean, I think it was 2 weeks that we waited before we went up to meet them.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, it's, if you're not adopted, and if there is anyone watching that is adopted,
Mm-hmm.
that would understand it. It's something that's very hard to explain.
You can't explain it.
No, it's, you know what? We went up the night before. We went on the Friday,
Mm-hmm.
and like before, they were like, "Oh, you can stay with us," and I'm like, "No."
Yeah, it's weird.
Because I didn't know what. Yeah, I didn't know
Yeah.
what to expect. I thought, Jesus, this could be good or this could end really bad.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? So we got a hotel in Sydney, Sydney, Nova Scotia.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, and I had my daughter with me.
Yeah.
And like my daughter, I didn't realize how strong my kid was
Mm-hmm.
until this moment, because she was my rock the whole weekend.
Yeah.
Like that kid, unbelievable how strong that kid is.
Yeah.
I don't know what I did right, but fuck, I did something.
Yeah, you did.
But so the next day when we went and met Ma, I sent Alicia a message, said I'm on my way, I'll be there, and I didn't hear nothing back right away. And we showed up, and there's no cars, there's no nothing, and me and my daughter are like, uh-oh.
He didn't come.
I'm like, well, I'm gonna have my smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had my smoke, and then I went to the door, and Ma answered the door, a little, short.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, I mean, I thought for sure I was going to be uncomfortable and it was going to be weird.
Yeah.
Honest to God, I think within 5 minutes of being in that house, it was like I always was supposed to be there.
Wow.
Like, it was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something that I've never felt before. And I mean, I know what love is. I mean, my parents love me to death. But it was just something that was so different.
There is something different about it. And you can, speaking from my own experience, like my dad is an amazing person. And he is like, I could not have asked for a better dad ever, ever. I love him so much. But I understand what you're saying. It's a very different, it's like that piece that was missing, or those pieces that were missing, kind of like you finally are, that's because you need to know where you came from.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like it's that
Yeah.
you finally feel like, okay, that's okay, I get it.
Yeah. Well, and you know what? Like the situation with Ma there is, I mean, I'm not going to go in full detail on it because there's probably a few people in here that Mom may not want to know,
Yeah.
want know.
Yeah, gotcha.
But the end result was Ma got shipped to Toronto.
Mm-hmm. As they
She
did in
gave
those
birth.
days, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She got shipped to Toronto. She gave birth, and Grandma took me away, and then came back and said, "Sorry, my dear, the baby didn't make it through the birth." So Ma
Wow.
didn't even know I existed. She did not know I existed in any way. As far as she was concerned,
Wow.
I didn't exist.
So what a shock for her.
Yeah. Considering most of her family didn't even know she was pregnant.
Mm-hmm. Because that's what
Like her.
they did that back in those days. Like
Absolutely.
you're off and gone, and all of a sudden, like, yeah, it's like nothing
Now you're
happened.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Like
wrong.
her husband Dave didn't know nothing about it.
Her
And her
husband's
daughters
name
did
is Dave.
nothing. Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy.
I know.
Wow.
Well, it's funny because my name on the birth certificate, it would have been John.
Mm.
That's what, and that's her. I believe her dad's dad or grandfather's name, one or the other. I can't remember. But it's pretty neat though. I mean, she didn't even know I was alive.
Wow.
Like, didn't have a clue. And you know what? For the longest time, like since I met her, like for months, she just felt so bad and so guilty. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And you know what? The one time I said to her, I said, you know what? I said, what happened then is what happened. I said, it's not any fault of your own.
No.
I said, I got put into a great family.
Yeah.
Right? Like one of the conditions of the adoption for me was I had to go into a Catholic family with children. That was the deal.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
She made that. She said that?
No, the grandmother did.
Oh, did she?
She made sure that I had to go to a Catholic family with children.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the deals of being put out there.
Right.
But and you know what? It's kind of funny because it almost gets weird almost because with my mom in Ontario, part of the reason my mother and my father in Ontario adopted me was my mom was on the registry that if they needed a place to put a kid for whatever time, phone Mrs. George, she'll take them right away or take the baby.
Yeah.
So they phoned my mom, and they said to her, like, we need a placement for this child until we can find someone full-time, blah, blah, blah. And they said he was born on June 8th, and my mom in Ontario went, when was he born? And they're like, June 8th. She just said to him, she goes, wrap him up, we'll take him. And they're like, what the hell? What happened was my mom lost a child. The due date was June 8th, 75. That's what the birthday date of that child would have been. So
wow.
I myself, I'm not a real big religious person, but everything happens for a reason.
Something was working bigger there for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's funny, if you put me and my father in Ontario side by side, you would call me a liar about being adopted.
Is that right?
Oh, I think I lost you.
Nope, you're there.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Okay, I've got the same shoulders as my dad. I stand the same way. I walk the same way. It's unreal.
It was meant to be.
Yeah. Well, my wife laughed at me when I told her I was adopted the one time. This is before we were married.
Yeah.
It was me and my mom, like my dad, my mom, and me and my wife at the time. We weren't married yet. We went to the shop, and my dad owns a water company as well, a spring water company. We were going to check the distiller.
Yeah.
Me and my dad got out of the truck, and we walked towards the shop, and both my mom and Tina are just pissing themselves.
Yeah.
Laughing. Me and my dad's like, women, whatever, let's go inside. We come out, and they're laughing still, and I get in, I'm like, what the hell's so funny?
Yeah.
Tina looks at me, she goes, honest to God, she goes, honey, if you didn't, and your parents didn't say that, yes, you were adopted, I'd call you straight out a liar. She goes, because you and your father look the
What?
same.
Yeah.
Yeah. She goes, the only difference is your dad's a foot taller.
Wow.
His dad's like 6'3" or something
Yeah.
like that, or 6'2".
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's funny. And
Wow.
a lot of the characters, like a lot of the stuff that I do and how I talk is all
Yeah.
the family. Like it's
Right.
in you.
Yeah, it is.
So,
Yeah. Wow. So how old were you when you learned that you were adopted?
I've known ever since as long as I can
Forever.
remember. They've always
They
told
always
me.
shared that with you.
Oh yeah.
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 Because I know
But
sometimes that's not a thing people talk about. So, yeah.
yeah, no, I've always known. Yeah, I mean, it was never hidden or anything.
Yeah.
So. But you know what I gotta say? I mean, with the family, my mom, 3 sisters that I have now, more 3 sisters. Now I have a really big family. I mean, I had a big enough family as it is.
Now you got to, yeah.
Like in Ontario, there's, including me, there's 8 of us.
Holy
There's
smokes.
5. Oh yeah, there's 5 boys, 3 girls.
Wow.
So, and it was funny because I remember they said, "I hope you like big families." I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, like we had a reunion on my dad's side. I don't know, probably 6 or 7 years ago, and we had like almost 500 or 600 people there. It was retarded.
Oh my God. Wow.
Oh, big family.
Huge.
But
Yeah.
I gotta say that like Ma and Alicia, Danielle and Mel, all of them out there, it's unreal how quickly and how close I am with them.
Yeah.
When I first met Alicia, like when I first met them all, me and Alicia used to talk every night. I mean, this went on for a solid two months.
Yeah.
We talk every night, every second. It's slowed down a little bit. We don't talk as much as we used to, but that's, now we're familiar.
Yes.
Right? Now it's kind of stepped it up, but we're still, every time we talk, it's like we just, it's normal.
So
it's just,
how,
it's unreal.
How long ago did you meet them?
Well, it's been over a year already.
Wow. Isn't that something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
When you posted that about the lawn tractor.
Yeah.
And I mean, that whole video, I'm just like, it just makes me smile because it was like, you shared that with me, what you were doing before it was even done.
Yeah.
And I was I could not wait for that video because it was just, that was so cool. It was so cool.
Well, and she had no idea.
Yeah.
She didn't even know, she had no idea whatsoever we were coming.
Now you got to tell everybody why you did that.
Well, because she's got all the grass and she's cutting it by herself.
Yes.
With
a push mower.
mower. Yeah. So I said to Alicia, Alicia's the oldest sister besides me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the oldest in the family now, but I told Alicia, I said, listen, I said, I'm going to get her a riding lawnmower.
Yeah.
Because I think, I think Mom made a joke that something about, maybe someday I'll get a riding lawnmower. Cows will fly first or something.
Right.
Something along those lines. And as soon as I heard that, I thought, okay.
Yeah.
So I phoned Alicia. I said, listen, this is what I'm going to do. And she's like, well, I'll throw some money at it. I said, well, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I ended up doing it myself because I'm not taking anything from them at all. Like, So we bought a used one and I painted it. And then I got flames on it.
Yes.
And it was funny because the next day I was showing her how to ride, like to use the thing, and it was so much fun. It was funny.
She said in that video, I think she could go to, what did she say? She could ride it to get the mail, or I forget.
I can't remember exactly what she said. But,
she was going to ride it somewhere else. It was the sweetest. Oh my God, it was awesome. Yeah. It was so awesome.
It's funny because when I first met her, like I told her right off the hop, I said, listen, I don't know if I'll ever be able to call you Mom. Mm-hmm. Because I said, I have a mom. Yeah. Right? So I don't know. I don't know what will happen. Yeah. And you know what? I'll be honest with you. I was so comfortable with her. I think it was like a month later I was calling her Mom. Wow. And I said, you know what? I feel comfortable calling you Mom. I don't call you Mom. Yeah. Because I have a mom. Right. But Ma I can do. And, Yeah, it's been probably the best thing that's ever happened to me besides marrying my wife.
Yeah.
You know, like really. Um, and it's kind of neat because we moved to New Brunswick and
Crazy.
they're only like 7 hours away.
Yeah.
So it's kind of
You
neat.
were meant
It's
to be there for sure.
I guess, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I think so. That
So,
is
but
crazy. I see
yeah.
Terry Chestnut is on here now. I know he was super
Ah.
excited for you to be doing this. And you guys have very similar, like you're running your own businesses and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you this question too, is what do you think is the hardest thing about doing it by your, like, well, your wife helps you, but doing your own thing?
I'd say the hardest thing is time.
Mm,
Having the time. See, because I don't have a salesman.
right.
I don't have a sprayer. I don't have a helper.
Right.
That's the fat kid right here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And having the time to do everything, that's probably the hardest thing. Um, and I'm sure Terry will say the same thing. It's hard to hire someone too because myself, if I don't do it,
Mm-hmm.
I worry about it being done right.
Right.
And that's what kills me the most. And you know what? It was the same at my brother's. You know what? My phone it may not have always looked perfect. It wasn't always, oh, look at this.
Yeah.
But when I got done, things were done,
Mm-hmm.
done right.
Yeah.
Customers were happy.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, the customers would be like, wow, like, does the rest of the people that work for you care as much as you do?
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably the hardest thing right there.
Yeah.
Is time. Trying to figure out everything and being in the same place at the same time. Like, I mean, you're in like 4 different places. You're wearing 4 different hats.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's probably it. It's making the time for everything.
So you get,
right?
in the summer months, you get your daughter.
Yes, she's awesome.
Yeah. So then in the...
And I seen she commented there. I'm your helper.
Oh, there she is. Yeah. Dad, what are you talking about? But at least in the summer you have her, and you've obviously you've trained her, and she's you can't.
You know what? It's funny. I don't even have to do or say anything to her. Nothing.
Yeah.
I go to a job site and it's just
she knows what to do.
She goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. She goes and gets her ladder, her staple, or her poly, and she's gone.
Yeah.
The best one I've seen yet is I have a contractor I deal with in Fredericton,
Mm-hmm.
Robin, and me and my daughter showed up, and we were just doing box joist or ring joist.
Mm-hmm.
So she knows she's got to cover windows and doors, and we pulled up and she's like, Dad, there's no frickin' windows or doors. What am I going to do now?
Mm-hmm.
I said, well, you know what I've taught you, like, keep yourself busy.
Yeah.
So I go in the basement to do the box joist. While I'm doing that, Robin comes down and he's like, your daughter is sweeping my job site. And I said, oh, that's good. He's like, what is she doing? I said, it's called I pay her by the hour, so she's keeping herself busy.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I got guys that are 30 and 40 years old that just lean on the shovel when there's nothing to do. And I'm like, wow, that's my daughter.
Yes.
So.
There is nothing more aggravating than a dirty job site. She's the best. I believe she is. But that's the thing. That's the thing. There is nothing worse to me than a job site. And I mean, I've not been on, like, obviously I'm not spraying foam, but like I've been on job sites, and that's exactly, you sweep, you pick up, you put the garbage away, like you make sure it's clear. Now, if you're following an electrician, you get the lovely job of cleaning up after them, because they do not, for whatever their reasoning is. I don't know if they think they're better than everybody, but like, they're the worst.
Oh yeah, they are. And you know what? 9 times out of 10, when I leave, the job site is cleaner than when I got there. And you know, and I've had customers go, oh, don't worry about it. No, it's not what I do. I have to clean up, because if I don't, I ain't going to sleep tonight.
That's right. Yeah.
You know, that's just the way it is. I mean, but that's how my dad taught me.
Yeah.
My dad said, you know what? The biggest thing is when it comes to business, it's not what you do, it's the job you leave.
Right.
Right? It's the job that you leave. I mean, I had
Yeah.
one customer where I did their place.
Mm-hmm.
The guy I had that I hired to help me for the day left his coat there. And the guy's wife said, I'll drop it off tomorrow. I said, okay, perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So she comes the next day, and I mean, we put 3 inches of foam on this log home. Before we started, I mean, you could feel the air coming through.
Wow. Yeah.
And the next day she comes, she gave me the coat, and she didn't say nothing about, you know, the foam, this, that. She's like, Dave, she goes, I gotta say, she goes, I couldn't believe it. She goes, it was clean when you left. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
what do you mean? She's like, every day I go home, I dread the fact that I'm gonna have to clean up after them. She goes, I couldn't even tell you were there except for the foam that was on the wall.
Wow. Yep.
And I said, and you know what I told her? I said, hey, my dad taught me a long time ago. It's not the job you do, it's the job you leave. And that's the biggest thing. Even if the foam doesn't look 100% perfect, if the job is clean and everything's perfect that way, they don't even look at the foam.
No, because you are in somebody else's home or business or whatever. You've got to have that respect for their property, and it should be. And I know for sure, I know there's a ton of people that do that, but the one I've seen the most that posts the most about that is Rob Humphreys of Blue Frog, is it? Yeah. Rob's job site. Every time he does a video, I'm like, it's like clean. Spotless, right?
Yeah.
That's exactly how it should be. And the mentality, why do electricians do that? Why is that a thing?
I don't know. It's been like that for as long as I can remember.
Every other trade, they might not be perfect, but those guys, in my experience, are the worst.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, it's funny though. I mean, that contractor I deal with up in Fredericton, Robin, he doesn't let anyone get away with shit.
Yeah.
Once I got there.
Right.
Because the first job I did for him, I did the job and I cleaned up, and I was cleaning up the electrician stuff. I was cleaning up. He come in and he's like, what did you do? And I'm like, well, I cleaned up. And I said, I can't clean up my mess without cleaning up everyone else's.
Yeah.
He goes, well, no, that's okay. You don't have to clean. I said, Robin, that's not how it works. It's not what I do.
Yeah.
I have to leave it clean. I said, if it means taking 50% of the other guy's shit, then so be it.
Yeah.
And ever since I got there and did that, he doesn't let even the electricians leave their shit anymore.
Yeah.
Because he says,
for him.
He goes, if the insulation guy can clean up, then so can you.
Exactly.
You know, so, but I mean, there's out here, I mean, I have another partner as well in the company. He owns Timber Mart and a bunch of stuff, and same deal. I went to his jobs, and his guys doing the attics, it was horrible.
Yeah.
Like, I remember the first retro, I went with him, and I was training a new guy how to do an attic. And I said to the guy driving the truck, I said, where's your vacuum? He's like, vacuum?
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, we don't have a vacuum. I said, well, where's your broom? We don't have a broom. I'm like, so I said, you're going to leave it? Oh, yeah, they can clean it up. I'm like, whoa, no. I said, this got to be cleaned up. And they're like, well, we don't do that. I'm like, wow. Since that, I mean, I've got a guy from Ontario that used to work for my brother, is now working for them.
Yeah.
And he has changed things. I mean, my partner, Tim, is like, this guy you bring from Ontario, I mean, he does stuff a whole lot there. I said, well, he does stuff the way my brother teaches, the way I've taught the guys.
Yeah.
Where when you leave, you make sure the place is clean because the customer's happier.
Right.
Right? But up here, I've seen it a lot. They don't clean up. I don't know, maybe it's different in Ontario or just different in general.
Yeah.
Out here, it's that way. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's different.
And you know, not only for the tradespeople, but also for the customers themselves, I've seen a number of people posting job sites where they show up and everything's a mess before they get started. So it's
Oh yeah.
also
Oh
on the
yeah.
customer side.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I've been to jobs where they're like, "Oh, we're all ready," and I come out and I'm like, "How am I supposed to do this job with all this crap in the way?"
Yeah.
Oh, you can work around it. No,
People do
hell
not,
no.
and that's part of the reason why I think it's important you guys do these lives and talk about what you do, because it's educating people, the customers that are not in the industry, because they don't
Yeah.
have a clue. So it's
No,
like
they don't.
they think they move it out 3 feet from the wall, you're good.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing, oh, you have a wand, don't
A
you? Oh
wand.
yeah, yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, there is a wand out there now,
Yeah.
but I sure as hell ain't gonna tell my customers that.
Right.
Because I mean, just yeah, it's. But I mean, even when I came up here to New Brunswick, like the way they do things here,
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to the foam, it isn't like Ontario.
Right.
Ontario, if you don't have your installer sticker on that electrical panel,
Mm-hmm.
the inspector won't even look at the job.
Really?
Oh, they walk away. They're like, nope, no stickers here, fails, and they walk away.
Mm.
So out here, I remember the first job me and my daughter did, and it had a permit, and I've got work boots on, and I got a hard hat on. My daughter's got steel toes. She's got a hard hat on.
Yeah.
Nobody else on the site has one, and this inspector shows up.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea who he is. He looks at me, he goes, "Who are you?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm Dave's Insulation, blah blah blah." And I said, "Who are you?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm the inspector."
Mm.
And I kind of looked him up. I looked him up and down, and I'm like, "Really? No, I'm the inspector." The guy's in tennis shoes,
Oh, jeez.
wearing a ball cap,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, "Okay." He goes over the whole job, and he's like, "You're not from here, are you?" And I said, "No, I'm not." I said, "Why?" He's like, "Well, there's a few things." He goes, "What the hell is that thing on the panel?" And I'm like, "Well, it's my daily sticker, like my
Yeah.
job site label."
Right.
He goes, "What do I need that for?" And I'm like,
It's the
I'm
Wild
like, "Well,
West.
yeah." He's like, "Well, you kind of have to have it, so I'm using certified foam." He goes, "Foam's foam." I'm like, "No."
Wow.
So, it's different. I mean,
Yeah.
I learned up here fast that they just they're not up to speed.
Yeah.
There's a few companies out here that do
Mm-hmm.
what they're supposed to, but not a lot.
Mm.
There's not a lot. Like Matt's Insulation, he's another guy that
Yes.
actually does it. He does it the way it's supposed to be done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've never met Matt in person.
You guys, if you two ever meet in person, I want that recorded. Oh my.
Yeah,
oh my. That will be something.
I've never met him in person. I mean, I've talked to him on Facebook a few times.
Yeah.
And, because you know what? I mean, he would send me a message and say, "Hey, I went and looked at this one." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know. It's a customer that I've already done. That's why I'm doing it for that price."
Yeah.
It's like, "Oh, okay, I get it."
Yeah.
But yeah, I've never met him in person. I've seen his trucks on the road. I mean, I'll go by his shop.
Mm-hmm.
Probably 2 or 3 times a month.
Mm.
Like right past it,
Wow.
right? So, but I think when I first got on scene up here in New Brunswick,
Yeah.
I think Matt's Insulation was like, "Who the fuck is this guy?"
Right. Yeah.
Because I had a unlettered truck,
Mm-hmm.
unlettered trailer, and he's like, "Oh, great, another fly-by-nighter."
Right.
You know
yes.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think at first, I don't think Matt was probably like, "Oh yeah, who the hell is this guy?" And I don't think he really, I don't think he liked me too much because of it, because he didn't know who it was.
Right.
I don't know if he likes me or not now. But
you should pull in
like
and find out.
Yeah. But like I said, I mean, we haven't met in person. I mean, I got nothing against Matt.
Yeah.
His guys do good work. And,
Yeah.
there's a few out here. And, I mean, there's one company out here, Greenfoot, that they're doing shit for free. So,
Right.
And me and Matt have had that conversation. He's like, yeah, they're stupid.
Yeah.
But
if you get
it's
if you get tangled up with him, I'm going to suggest that there could be Speedos involved. And I don't know what else, but you'll be living your best life. I have talked to Matt about a few things, and some of them were trips that he was on in Thailand. And I was like, oh my God, are you like, what is happening?
Yeah, I've met a few guys on site, and they're like, yeah, I think you and Matt would get along.
I think you would get along just fine.
I'm like, what do you mean? And the one guy goes, Dave, you're a nutcase, but he goes, you and Matt would get along fine because you're both nuts.
Oh my God, you guys would have to go live for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my God, it would be something. But
yeah, but it's been it's been kind of neat. Just everything's different.
mm-hmm.
The pace up here is
slow.
So slow.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Right.
I remember the one job we did. It was 2 inches foam on 700. I think it was 750 square feet.
Mm-hmm.
I said to the guy, I said, yeah. I said, I'll be probably 4 or 5 hours. And he's like, yeah, okay, buddy. And I'm like, all right. Me and my daughter did it. We had it done in 4 hours from start to finish with prep and clean up. And I phoned the guy and said, well, I'm all done. I said, you want to come and do payment? And he's like, oh, you're done for the day. I'm like, no, I'm done.
I'm done, yeah.
Oh. He's like, well, I just started work. I said, well, I'll stop in tomorrow. So I went in the next day. He's like, how did you do all this in 4 or 5 hours? And I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, oh, no, some of the other companies out there, like this guy used fly-by-nighters.
Yeah.
He didn't even use someone like Matt.
Wow.
I mean, Matt would have got it done probably the same amount.
Yeah.
Same amount of time.
Yeah.
But this guy was used to meatheads that didn't know what they were doing. He said the last one he did, it took the guy a day and a half.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, no, if it's a day and a half, I might as well shut the shit down now.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
exactly.
it's just, the pace is a lot different out here. That's the only thing that I had to get used to.
Right.
You know, I had to go from 8th gear to reverse.
Right. Yes.
So, but
yeah,
it was good though, because it's beautiful out here. I mean, this is beautiful country.
I have heard that. I have never been to that end of Canada, and I have wanted to go. So my mom was born in Sackville, New Brunswick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
And she's always wanted to go back. She left, I don't remember, she was like 1 or 2 when they moved away.
Yeah,
but she's always wanted to go back just to see, you know, that's where she was born and stuff. And so we keep talking about we should do that. We never have done it, but one day.
It's gorgeous down here. I mean,
yeah.
And business, I mean, right now business is slow, but that's because we had so much snow this year. Everything is behind a month.
Right.
Like, because like starting all the foundations, everything was frozen for so long.
Yeah.
So everyone's behind, but it's slowly starting to get busy again. But.
Yeah. Well, that's your major thing there is that you have to combat the winters. The snow and the cold.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we bought that tractor.
Right. The tractor.
We bought that tractor this year, so.
Yes. With all the lights.
Well, what? Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't do anything small.
Right.
I never have.
Yeah.
When I bought that tractor and I started doing the lights and everything, my wife's just like,
what are you doing?
And I'm like, well, I want to make sure they can see me if I'm on the road. She's like, so that means you need a radio in it?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, yeah.
Of course. What do you mean? Lee Lockhart says he's filming in Calgary and you are filming in his hometown.
Yes, it's kind of funny how I met Lee. Lee's actually became quite a good friend.
Yeah.
And how I met him was I knew him just on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
He come home the first year I was here. Got a hold of me and said, "Listen, my sister's got a problem at her house with air leakage and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, come take a look at it." I said, "Yeah, let's go." So we went and looked at it, and then I said to him, I said, "Well, we'll do it tomorrow." I said, "We'll go and hit the box choice and this and that."
Mm-hmm.
I said, I'll make you a deal. I said, you can be my helper for the day. So we jumped in the truck and went.
Ah, okay.
I did the work. Yeah, we did the work. And he's like, how would I owe you? And I said, nothing. And I said, don't worry about it. We'll work. And he goes, well, I'll help you with your website. So basically, he helped me do my website.
Awesome.
And it was kind of a trade. But, I mean, we've been good friends since then. And Lee does all my, what do you call it? The SOE stuff.
SEO, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah.
Lee's doing it. It's all good.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, if I don't know how to do it, I get someone else that can.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, Lee's a good guy, and he operates a place up in Calgary, whatever, called Beyond Foam, and they're a good group of people too. So, yeah. But yeah, it's kind of funny how many people you meet and how many people you know, but have never met.
Isn't that the truth?
On this, like, unreal.
Yeah.
So
it's true. And I mean, you guys, not that long ago, there was a bunch of you that got together. Was that in Toronto?
Yeah.
There's a bunch of you. Yes.
Yeah. You seen some of the pictures?
I saw some of the pictures. Yes, I did. Yes.
With me and the green hair.
Yeah. Yeah.
The funny story about that is that green hair.
Yeah.
There is some guy just walking in the bar with a green wig.
Yeah.
And I was already 3 sheets in. Like, I was already good. And, oh, yeah. Like, I don't do any drugs anymore, but
yeah,
I'll drink.
Yeah.
Not often. I mean, a case of beer will last 3 months in my house.
Yeah.
But if I go out with the boys and get silly, I'm going to get silly.
Yeah.
And this guy was walking around with his green hair because I think it was St. Patty's Day or something like that.
Right.
Told the guy, I said, hey, come here, buddy. He's like, what? I said, how much you want for the green hair?
Yeah.
He's like, what? I said, I want to buy the green hair. Guy's like, are you kidding me? I said, no. He pulled out my money. I said, what do you want for your green hair? I want the green hair.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it scared the shit out of me at first. To be quite honest, I think it scared the shit out of him. Because he was just like, no, you just have it.
Just take it.
I was like, no, I'll pay. I'll buy it. And he's like, no, you can just have it. I'm like, all right, fuck, whatever. Threw it on my head, and like Sean and Keith and,
oh my God.
And Raymond, they're all just pissing. They're like, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah. You mean Sean actually was smiling?
Oh, yeah. Oh, shit. Eh?
We got to get a picture of him smiling. I don't know if that's possible.
Yeah.
But damn.
Oh, I got a kick out of when he did that. Did you ever see the video he did that was imitating me?
Oh, my word. I was watching the video, and I'm like, this is, I'm pretty sure
this is familiar.
I'm pretty sure he's making fun of Dave George. It's like, for sure. It was hilarious.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Hilarious.
And there was a few people who are like, oh, that's not very nice.
I know.
I got on there, I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, it's all good. We all know I'm a fucking nutcase.
When he was smoking, I was like, I'm pretty sure he's not a smoker, but...
He's not a smoker either, yeah.
Oh, my God. But it's crazy how, like you're saying, all of a sudden you get to meet all these people in this industry, and you gain all these friends out of it, and it's like, it's awesome.
Yeah, it is. Well, and you know what the funny part is? I mean, I've had guys call me from, one guy called me from Texas.
Yeah.
He messaged me first because he was having problems with his gun, and he seen,
some
seen
of your
video
videos.
I did, and I said, listen, my spelling, my reading and writing suck. Just call me.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh. I said, just call me. Mm-hmm. So he did. He called. I can't remember the guy's name anymore, but this was like a year ago or a year and a half ago. And you know what? I talked to him for 20, 30 minutes and walked him through his problem.
Yeah.
This is someone from Texas that I don't even know. I know him on Facebook, but that's it.
Yes.
And it's kind of funny because I've had it before where people have messaged me to ask how to do something, how to fix something.
Right.
What do you think this could be? And I don't know them, but they just know me as Dave George on the
Right.
Spray Foam Worldwide.
Yeah.
So. But
I think it's a cool, like, I just think it's awesome because before everybody would have just been doing their own thing, and you know, it's kind of bonded, it's brought people together, competition or not, you know.
right, absolutely.
And I think that's how it should be.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the way my dad was when he was running it. He said, you know what? He's like, competition is competition, but the problem is, if anybody needs help, whether they're competition or not, they got a family to feed just like you, so you help them. Period.
That's right.
I mean, that's how it should be.
Yes.
Everyone fighting over work. It's just a waste of time.
Oh,
in my eyes,
a huge waste of time and a huge waste of energy, and it's just it's not producing any good.
No,
it's
no, because you've got to basically make nothing to get the work.
Yeah.
So when the time comes, that okay, say you're doing it because you want to push a small guy out of the industry.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not right. That's horseshit. But problem is, if you succeed and you push that guy out of the industry, problem is, what took you 6 months or a year to do because you dropped your pants on price will take you 10 years to get back to what you were.
Right.
That's the problem. So, and people don't get that. And you know what? If everybody in the industry worked together on everything, and not saying, you know, do, what do you call it, price, whatever, but keep everybody's price not the same, but
within reason. Yes.
Within reason.
Yeah.
You know, and there'll be lots of work for everyone. But some people don't see it that way, I guess.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, do you like, so you run the little guy out of the business or whatever. Would it not be kind of a better deal that if that guy eventually let's say he couldn't succeed, maybe he could come work for you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't you take that person on because he loves that industry, blah, 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 blah,
That's
blah,
right.
Right? So, I mean, it would be a win-win.
Like, you know what, myself, I've already reached out to Greenfoot. And not like directly to them, but I've met their salesman in Tim Hortons, said, hey, listen, like, you know what? You guys want to work together.
Yeah.
Instead of wrecking our industry up here and making it so no one makes money.
Right.
Why don't we work together? And I've never heard nothing from them. But I'll tell you myself, if I was to go broke because of guys like that, I would never go work for them.
Right.
Because then I'm just making it better for them too.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, I mean, I wish I had millions of dollars and then I just go and do the same game they're doing to them.
Yeah.
But then it makes me no better.
Right. Well, that's just it, isn't it? So, yeah. But. So what would you say, because we've been on here for almost an hour and a half.
Oh, really? Really?
It's like, we're getting
wow.
on, I know, it goes by. What would you say would be your best, what would be your words of wisdom for somebody who wants to start out and do their own business in this industry?
Don't.
Everybody says that.
Well, the only reason I say that is, you know what? I got lucky myself. I was born into it.
Yeah.
So I was taught a lot of things, how to repair machinery, how to fix, how to troubleshoot. The biggest problem nowadays with getting into the foam industry is you know nothing.
Right.
You start, and a friend of mine said a long time ago, when you first start, even if you just start as a sprayer, 9 times out of 10, you're going to have a black cloud over your head for 6 months. And everything that can go wrong will go wrong just because that's the way it is.
Right.
I mean, I hate to say it that way, but that's just the way it is. I mean, because there's stuff that I take for granted where I'm like, oh, yeah, it's this. Well, no problem.
Right.
Fixed. Where a new guy would look at it and go,
what is that? Yeah.
What am I going to do?
Right.
So, and you know what? A lot of times I'd say the guys that are shutting down or getting out of the business, it's not because of not because of not getting the work. It's because of the stress of the business itself.
Right.
Because, I mean, if you don't know what you're doing and you can't fix your own machinery, every time you break down,
Yeah.
it's a G note or
Right.
more,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
So my suggestion, I mean, I hate to say it, but I would say anyone that has an idea or thinks they want to start in the spray foam industry, go work for someone first.
Yeah. Because you
And
see the posts, you see them just as much as I
yeah,
do. Those guys that are they're
God,
gonna
yeah,
buy a truck and they're gonna buy this and they just want to. Have you worked in the industry?
yeah,
No. Like even I know. Like,
yeah,
dude, please go work for somebody,
yeah.
right?
I mean, I hate to say that, you know, a lot of guys. There's some companies that won't hire you if you say, "Well, I'm thinking of starting a business." Don't even tell them that, because you
Yeah.
know what? I hate to say it. Learn on someone else's dime.
Yeah. That's what
Because
you
if you
do.
learn on your own dime, you're gonna go broke.
Right.
It's that simple.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's some stuff that I run into that even like now in the last few months that I can fix it, but it would have shut down the average Joe completely. It would have
Right.
they would have went, fuck it, I'm done.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's a good business if you've got the right, and I hate to say it, if you got the right contacts.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. If you don't know the industry that well and you have the right contacts, guys like me, guys like Terry,
Yeah.
a lot of the guys on Spray Foam Worldwide are more than happy to help if you need it.
Right.
The biggest problem is these new guys that are getting into it, stop being idiots, swallow your pride,
Right.
and ask for help.
Yeah.
Because all you do is if you are too stubborn to ask for help from guys like me and other guys on Spray Foam Worldwide, all you're doing is hurting the industry.
Right.
Because one screw up from one truck will go across the freaking world.
Right.
Like that. I mean, you look at the one on W5 or whatever where the guy put too much foam in the attic. The whole house smelt for months. They had to rip the whole roof off and rip out all the insulation. This is going back 6 or 7 years ago. That gave us a black eye forever.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember going to try selling jobs, and they're like, "Oh, well, does your foam stink like that stuff on W5?" And it's like,
yeah, you get one show like that, and
it kills us.
Yeah, 100%.
But it's pretty easy to do too if you're new and you don't know.
Right. Well, exactly.
A screw up like that takes 2 seconds, and then you're toast.
Yeah.
So I'd say anyone that's getting into the business, swallow your pride. If you don't know, you know what? Swallow your pride. Ask for help.
Yeah.
Because there's lots of guys that will help.
Yeah, there is.
It'll make your life a lot easier if you're getting into the business.
Yeah.
Right? So
for sure.
I guess that's what I would say.
Yeah, because I think you see a lot of that is, I think that they are I don't know if it's jaded is the right word, but like they think it's all about like they're going to make all this astronomical money and it's just, you know, it's just a money making thing, and they aren't thinking about, you know, and I think this is also a thing for people who work for somebody.
Yeah.
As much as they need to treat their employees with respect, you got to treat your boss with respect and understand there's a whole side of things you don't even know what that person is dealing with.
Absolutely. Well, you know, I laugh because there's years ago when I worked for my brother, there's an employee who used to always go around saying about me and about my brother, and oh, you make $100,000 a year. I'm like, really? He goes, oh, and your brother who pays himself $500,000. I'm like, are you on drugs?
Yeah.
I mean, I know I'm sober, so I'm not, but you must be.
Right.
Because anybody that pays himself $500,000 at a company, they got to be making over $50 million in that company, and that's not happening.
Right.
I said, and even then it's stupid if you're in the phone business. You know, like my brother, he puts everything back into his business.
Right.
You know, but that's the thing. And you know what? There was a guy that just came. I think he's still watching, Michelle. This guy Michelle that just got on this watching it.
Yeah.
I've known Michelle for years, and you know what? I worked at the place that he bought his unit from.
Yeah.
And I was the service tech at that time. And I felt horrible because, I mean, these guys set him up with the truck and all, you know. I mean, it was like 75 grand, whatever it was. And you know what they did? They showed him how to spray a little foam in the shop and said, there you go.
Dennis Lawrence always
I'm
says
like,
it, right? You get your whatever training and you're a foamer. Yeah.
Yeah. And
right.
you know what? I mean, me and Michelle became good friends. And that's because after he left the shop, I got his number and reached out and I said, listen, Michelle, if you ever need help, you ever need anything, just call me and I'll be there to help you.
Yeah.
And I did. But you know what? These guys you're going to be a spray foamer. You're going to make millions. Like, and that's what it is. Suppliers. I'm not saying all suppliers.
Just to clarify.
Yeah. A lot of suppliers.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, you're going to make millions. Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
But that's the problem. And they don't, the training's not enough. And you know what? I know I've said a few things online about Kafka and whatever. I don't have a problem with Kafka per se.
Yeah.
Their quality insurance program's good. I just don't agree with some of their practices.
Right. Yeah.
But the thing is, there needs to be more training for these guys that are getting in because there's nothing. It's like, come to our course for 3 days. Ta-da! You're a spray foamer.
Right.
The fuck.
Yeah. No, exactly.
So.
Yeah. Well, it's like anything. You can't expect somebody, and Rex and I just had this conversation. You can't expect somebody to all of a sudden be an expert when they have 3 days of training. They need to have experience in the field. They need to, and it's not just 6 months or a year. Like, you need some solid, and even then you won't know everything.
No, exactly. I mean, you know what? My dad told me a long time ago, the day that you say you know everything is the day that you start all over again and learn again.
Exactly.
Because if you ain't learning, you ain't doing it right.
That's right.
It's that simple.
Oh, 100%.
Right? I mean, I've been doing it almost 30 years, and there's shit that comes up, and I'm like, oh, well, there you go.
Yeah. It's,
you know?
Right.
So.
Like they always say, if you're the smartest guy in the room, you're in the wrong room.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. I might be the fattest guy in the room. But not the smartest.
Oh, my God. Oh, you're funny. I am so glad you reached out and asked me to do this. This was I was so excited all week. And this morning when I was like, how come you guys aren't on? What's going on? I'm like, holy smokes, this is going to be awesome. So
hopefully it wasn't boring for anyone watching.
Well, if they were bored, they're in the wrong room.
Yeah.
But
well, yeah, I know. As soon as you posted that, I thought, geez, that'd be cool. I'd love to get on there.
I think definitely you can come back.
Oh, for sure.
Yes. I think it would be awesome to have you back. And if your daughter would like to join you and your wife, you all are welcome.
My wife's like, she goes, she's not going to want to, take a trip of the house or nothing. I'm like, I don't think so. I said, I don't think so. She goes, because it ain't clean, so don't do it. I'm like,
it's like it's like that, what's that show, MTV Cribs? Yeah. No, we're not going to do that, I promise.
No.
Just whatever behind you.
My wife won't even let me post a picture of her on, so I don't know if she'll get on this.
Well, you're coming back, so do you have anything you want to say before we go?
No, not really. It's been fun.
It's been awesome. Now I
didn't think it was that long.
I know. Pretty cool. It goes by so fast, but now you can go have your beer.
Well, I'm actually going to go out in the yard and play on the tractor.
There you go. Good.
The wife's got a list of shit to do. So.
The honey-do list. Yes.
Yes.
We might be, I think Rex and I may or may not go live later. We're going to go to the oldest bar in Vancouver, hopefully. It's closing down, cool. So maybe
And what one's that?
the Canby. It's the Canby. I don't know what the name. It's the Canby Bar or the Canby Hotel. I'm not even sure, but it's like over 100 years old. It's in Gastown.
Where? Oh, okay, yeah.
It's
See, I was out in Vancouver when I was 19.
Okay.
I went out there just. I got out of jail and went, "Fuck it, I'm out of here."
Well, there.
Yeah.
You got to do what you're gonna do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was fun. Smoked a lot of weed there.
Yeah, I bet you did. That's just the fragrance in the air. That's Vancouver air.
Absolutely.
Oh my word! You walk down the street, it's like it's not even a thing. You don't even question it anymore.
It's like
People are like,
their
"What is
cologne.
that?" That's just the air in Vancouver. So
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like the cologne. It's like the cologne down there.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you again so much.
Alrighty.
And I know people have left lots of comments, so we have to answer those. So
Perfect.
yeah, we'll do that after. But you guys, everybody, thank you for joining us. Thank you, Dave, so much. It was awesome.
Oh, no.
All right.
It was a pleasure.
Have a good
Have
day.
a good one. Okay,
Bye.